I am back. So what I like to do is I like to make various dishes in large amounts so I can have leftovers, and then I'll mix those leftovers together. So what I have is macaroni and cheese that I added cauliflower, broccoli, and sausage to. Then I also have a curry, which is oh, what did I put in the curry? Carrots, daikon, and ground pork. And both curry and macaroni are in my bowl right now. Macaroni and cheese, it is. I don't know if I mentioned the cheese part. And mixed together, it's fantastic. Mm. Oh, that's a good one. All right. So, before I dive into story, we have to do some setup. And I want to address something, uh, and it's that the YouTube VOD is going to be a little awkward for this because we just streamed for 2 hours, and that's almost all going to get cut on the VOD. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in. Oh, I hope this website is actually operational. I might have to dig into my old mods to get some of this stuff. Please be back online. Okay, good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the VOD after it's done, and I'm going to trim it all the way up to this point when I got back. And I'm going to publish the first half hour where I did all the updates as a separate video, and the essentially the end of the Arma run, because that is the end of that run for now. I'm going to publish that as a separate video as well. And this will just be, from here on out, the start of the return of Menace 1. This playthrough is going to use Nexrelin. Some of the mods we already have. And I need... Is it adjusted sector? I think it's adjusted sector. And I need... Ooh, adjusted sector might not... No, not adjusted sector. It's a new level. The other one I want might not work. Um, it's a skill mod that allows you to scale the skills differently, and there's another mod that allows you to have your fleet by DP size. That one will be easy. But the skill one might not. Oh, need to do that. Skill, scale. I'm trying to think of where it would be. It's a mod that allows me to change the scaling of the player skills so that they work. So, like, if you have a larger fleet with more DP, it's a different scaling. Hey, Zigbot. What it's called though? All right, it's not any of those. Oh, I was thinking about doing terraforming at stations, but we may not actually colonize. Oh no, we are going to colonize for ourselves, so maybe we do terraforming at stations as well, just to be able to build a station, not to really do the terraforming. We have fleet size by DP. Maybe it's not here anymore. Oh, terraforming and station construction. Just for the station construction part, because there's a lot of cool things you can build with that. Maybe it's in a content expansion. It may not be here because it may have fallen off. I'm not seeing it at all. Well, because my concern is that the skills got changed around and rebalanced. Let me bring this over here where I can stare directly at it. Actually, I don't think I had it on that time. Adjustable skill thresholds. It was adjustable skill thresholds. What happened to adjustable skill thresholds? Well, it never got updated, that's for sure. It's not up here anymore. All right, we're gonna give it a shot. We're gonna try it, see if I can just manually tweak it, but might not be here. But terraforming and stations we're gonna get. I don't think we require anything that we don't already have. And again, we're just going to use this so we can build things like the Astropolis, the mining stations, the siphon stations. I'm not interested in actually terraforming. The terraforming is very fun, though. Essentially, it makes any system with enough planets colonizable, period. It's just so much you can do. We have Lazy Lib and Magic Lib, so we don't need anything for this. New level, we don't need anything. Okay, so these are the different variants. For a whole new level, I was going to literally take the brakes off again. I like that term. And do level 40. But the question is, do I want to do level 40 slow or have it be rapid? We're going to be doing a lot of combat. I don't want it to happen too fast. Like I'm not bothered if we don't hit level 40. So we're going to get the standard level 40. And default limit is 600. Yeah, and that's their justification is that most of the end game bounty fleets are around that point. So we'll be able to have 600 DP worth of ships in our fleet. Honestly, this isn't really going to come. This might not even come up if we can't get the skill threshold to work because I'm only planning on flying the two ships that we have NEURALINKed and drone ships. So what I need the adjustable skill threshold for is to allow us to adjust because the way I look at it is if we're going to DP 600, the original deployment points cap is 240. So that's an extra, that's a 250%, there's a 150% increase. So what I do is I go into this just a skill threshold and adjust those by 150%. And to me, that seems like it's a fair adjustment considering the fleet is going to be larger. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and grab this and let's see if we can configure all this to make it work together Worst case scenario, we just end up with a smaller fleet, which will be easier to manage anyway. Either way, we're going to end up with a smaller fleet. It's just a matter of how small. Okay, let's bring these over to our mods. Going to deploy them right here. There are ones we might need to adjust. We'll check that out in a second. But let's go pick up adjusted skill threshold. We'll get the zip file, copy it. This is why you can back up your mods. We'll put that in and extract it. All right, now let's launch and see, not launch, but open up the mod folder and see what we need to change. So new level of confidence, just a skill threshold, and fleet by DP size, and terraforming stations all need to get changed. Okay, as expected. So new level of confidence. This is the one that I'm expecting to not work right. No, new level of confidence is will be fine. Yeah. No. It's the other one I'm expecting to not work right. And I think if we just put 0.97, that's all we need to change. We don't need to have the specific version. Adjusted skill threshold is the one that I'm worried about actually working properly. Especially because it wasn't updated for a couple of patches now. But it only touches very specific skills, and I don't think those skills got changed. Yeah, so it's carrier group. So we're boosting it by 150%, so that goes up to 20. The crew training threshold goes up to the full fleet cap. That's the funny thing about these, is that they're going to go up to the full fleet cap. Doesn't bother me one heckin' bit. This is going to go up to 100, but I don't think we get any phase ships. Maybe we'll have a phase ship as one of the ships we're flying. Automated ships is the big one, though. So that's going to go up to 300. Bulk transport is going up to 5,000. Fuel and bulk personnel is going to go up to a weird number. I'm just going to put it at 10,000 because we're not going to need it anyway because we're not using personnel. Derelict operations percentage per DMod. I'm not going to adjust that. Okay. Just double checking. I think these things should be fine. I think it should be fine. But that's going to be the first one we take off if it's not fine, because I'm pretty sure that's going to be the problem. Fleet size by DP. We just need to change this. So I like the defaults. Save that. Turn on Nexrelin and terraforming stations. Again, this one should work because it's the creation of colonies, not what happens to them. And then some industry stuff, but it was already made after the hostile activity one anyway. It was updated for the patch. This one should work fine. All right, so let's close this. Run it again. We're going to turn on that. We're turning off Arma. We're turning on fleet size. I'm also going to turn off progressive S mods. The reason being that if we're going to end up with hull restoration anyway, we're going to end up being able to build in 3 things with story points already, and and I'm worried about that crash. If we can avoid that, that'll be better. And we'll leave graphics live off. Okay. Let's make sure everything starts up white, and then we'll go in and I'll back out and we'll talk about Menace 1. Because Menace 1 has some lore. Like, year ago, I did a single ship challenge with Menace 1. And we were at a point where we were getting rather bold. So I decided I wanted to steal the pristine nanoforge from the hegemony with one ship. We were flying the Aurora. And we almost got it on several occasions. It was the fact that we had to do so many raids and we couldn't keep their comm satellite broken, because you can't break the one in Aztalan. Because we couldn't do that, we ended up struggling to maintain, to keep their stability low. If anything, it may actually be better now because of the way the market fluctuates and takes more time. It may actually be even easier now to do what we tried to do last time. But essentially, we were blockading them for months before finally a Syndrian fleet was coming to deliver supplies, and I didn't want to lose the stability, so I engaged the fleet, not really looking at what I was getting involved in for the fight. At that point, I was just so strained from running around, and we ended up taking the L. I did try to go back with another ship after coming back, because I was like, I got to take advantage of this opportunity while their stability's low, but it was just a lost cause at that point. So the canonical end was getting destroyed in the Aurora, but that's where I always imagined coming back to do the 2-ship challenge with the NEURALINK. And now with NEURALINK being cheaper, everything about this is so much easier. So we're going to go into a brand new game. We even already have our custom avatar for Menace 1. Now we're getting into the Nexrelin start. So for people who have not done Nexrelin, it's really fun. It adds a lot of 4X stuff. The factions become a lot more dynamic. They will take each other's colonies. There's ground invasions. They will even colonize as well. And there's new objectives that are very 4X for like acquiring points and winning through diplomacy. Nexrelin itself is its own victory condition and like its own game. It's a really great mod. The thing is that I never recommend players to play it until they've already done the story mode and played vanilla, because if you get right into Nexrelin, it's going to completely distract you from ever doing the story. And the story is really good and well worth engaging in. It's a great way to learn the game by playing vanilla. Don't learn the game with Nexrelin. Get comfortable with a playthrough, colonize, do everything that vanilla has to offer, then start exploring the mods, because that way you'll have a baseline to be able to more understand the crazy stuff that gets added into the games. Like, I've had players come to me where they're doing their first playthrough. They added a bunch of mod packs and ship packs, and they ask me, how do I tell what weapons are good? You fucking play vanilla. Like, it's as simple as that. You need to learn how to play the game as intended so you can understand the basic mechanics of the game. Flux management, shipbuilding, fleet dynamics, combat dynamics, all of this stuff is important to learn before you start adding in all the factions and weapon packs and Nexrelin as well. There are a lot of quality of life packs that you can add. And I'll be putting together, once the more of the mods get updated, I'll be putting together a mod pack for like quality of life stuff for newer players. But honestly, even those, like, they spoil you sometimes. It's really, really good to learn on the base game for at least a bit before you start experimenting. We're going to skip the tutorial here. Highly recommend going through it if you haven't. It just runs you through the basic concepts of Nexrelin. You know what? I'll go through it real quick. So Nexrelin is essentially a 4X extension to the game. Factions with the sector will wage war, create alliances, and compete to control a greater share of the sector. Nexrelin is compatible with a large number of community-made faction mods, which you can add for a more varied gameplay experience. Default Nexrelin is going to be very rough. You're going to spend the majority of the time fighting the hegemony. Legion with Devastators. Actually, Devastators are my favorite. You should see my conquest. My conquest rolls with 4 Devastators. Heck, broadside, I'm a wedge. My shield is my sword. So yeah, Nexrelin without mods turns into everyone against the hegemony, essentially, because the hegemony will win the game if you leave them at it. That's another reason why you don't want to do Nexrelin first, because you will lose your Nexrelin play. Like, it doesn't game over you, but it essentially game overs Nexrelin, so you can't get the victory condition there. So play the regular game so you can have a chance of actually winning at Nexrelin if you start it. But once you get comfortable with adding in mod packs and factions, you usually want to have a handful of factions. And there is some balance to them as well when it comes to making sure not any one side is stronger. Like, once you start adding more of the factions, hegemony actually becomes very weak, in which case you add the Iron Shell to make them stronger. There's also a couple of things for Syndria, because Asconia is really easy to get knocked out of the game, since they're all in one system. And so there's mods that buff them. There's also mods that help the Persian League. The Myasuran Navy immediately allies with them and allows them to have a little more military power. And there's all these different factions that help the vanilla factions stay alive when there's stronger factions involved in the game. And then there's also endgame factions too. Like the Hivers, if you add them without knowing what they are, the Hivers are essentially going to take over your entire map. They are a massive endgame boss colony, essentially. Boss faction. Talon Shipworks adds the Legios, I think it's Legios Pirates. I can't call them pirates. Legios faction, which are like very aggressive. They will knock other factions out of the game very easily, especially if that faction only has 1 star system. Like, they always take out the Star Federation, and I love the Star Federation, but they always like slap the teeth out of them. But yeah, Nexrelin gets a lot more involved and fun when you start adding factions. And don't rush to make a giant map with a ton of factions. Just play a smaller map with less factions and get used to it. There's no reason to add all this stuff. Don't listen to the hype. Become the hype. Learn what everything is and then build your own perfect game for you. That's what this is all about. Your actions will gain or lose your influence with the factions in the sector as normal. The higher your influence with a faction, the greater access to their support and technology you will have. You essentially are able to become a lot more friendly and even ally with other factions, which is different than getting a commission, which is very nice, especially once you start your own faction. You don't have to start your own faction. You can actually join one of the other factions. At the start of the game, you pick a faction to join. You are a representative of your chosen faction, and your actions in the sector will reflect them. So, like, you can have your own faction and develop that, or you can join a different faction. You can move to another faction later if you earn their trust. You can also choose to go it alone and set up your own empire. Have fun. That's it. Alright, so enable random core worlds. Don't do that. I mean, you can for fun, but it's like, it's chaotic. It's insane. But it is fun. Sometimes. Sector generation, so you can choose to have extra colonies spawn in at the start. I think we're actually gonna do that. So there's already 23 planets and 8 stations. Let us add 6 extra colonies at the start. Now, you know what? We're going to leave all this by default. We're going to leave it all default, except we're going to go in, yeah, default, none. So you can set it to have the factions respawn, but I don't want that. If we destroy a faction, they're gone. Probably not going to, though. And then other options is where it gets important. Prism Freeport is the only colony that Nexrelin adds by default. It's a very handy independent colony where you can find a lot of useful stuff. Honestly, I really would like to see Prism Freeport get adopted into the game. But but it's in Nexrelin. Highly recommend it. There's some really cool stuff going on there. You have easy mode and Starfarer mode, where Starfarer mode is other factions are more aggressive towards yours. You have less colony growth rate, lower colony income, and higher vengeance point generation. It's basically hard mode for Nexrelin specifically. The easy mode, I believe, is just the default easy mode, yes. Spacer obligation, growing monthly payments as seen in the Spacer start option. I'm not exactly sure what that is. The Academy stipend, I'm going to leave that on. Random start location as opposed to starting in like wherever the default spawn is, because the default spawn for each faction is set, and then also the default spawn for the game. We're gonna leave that off because I actually want to do the regular start. Starting demods, none, so none of my ships are gonna have demods in the start. That's fine because we want a pristine ship. Own faction starting location. If you do a faction start, you can choose to start in the core worlds or outside of the core worlds. Starting neighbors is cool. Allow picking starting planets in already inhabited systems and non-random sector. No effect in random sector. So the idea here is that if you could potentially end up starting a system with neighbors, which is actually kind of fun. I like doing the core start, where it's like, you know, we are just a small faction that is already in the core worlds. That's my preferred option, but it is customizable. And then the best one, the all-time, the skip story. We're enabling that. This way you get all the bonuses from having done the story without having to do the story. You can also pick a custom scenario here. The only one by default is the Derelict Empire, which is actually kind of fun. Hey, fool. How you doing, fool? Derelict Empire is fun. It requires a random sector start, though. But it essentially, the Derelicts have taken over a whole bunch of planets, and everyone has to band together to fight them. It's a very fun scenario, but it's one where it's like, it's definitely, you want to play towards the scenario as opposed to doing your normal thing. Because my normal thing is to go explore, and by the time I got back done with exploring, they had basically defeated the Derelicts themselves. The cool thing about the Derelict start, though, is you can essentially go and capture these planets. So it's like a mad dash to secure extra planets, which is, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. All right, faction settings. Did that. Proceed. So that's the sector generation. Now we're on to our character generation. We can choose a faction. We can choose our own faction. We can choose the free start, which is the classic start, without a faction, I believe. And then we can choose random faction. We're going to choose free start. Yeah. Custom start. These are the tutorial start, and the spacer start is one where you're like, yeah, non-combat shuttle out in the middle of nowhere with debt. It's a very difficult start. But we are going to be doing free start. Now this is where you get to choose your fleet. You can choose one of the classic setups, and they've all been randomized with similar ships. This will include ships from mod packs that you're using. So you can pick instead of having, like, you know, the Explorer start where it's always the Apogee, you could get a different selection. You've got carrier starts, you've got trade starts, you've got combat specific starts, you get the frigate classic start, and then you've got the super ship start. Which actually, that might be the best way for us to start. I don't know. I was still trying to decide what ships. You also have the custom start where you can pick as many ships as you want to be in your fleet. This is where it's really useful, because this will let us skip a bunch of stuff if we wanted to. We're going to be doing the NEURALINK right away, so I want to get 2 ships, and I need to decide what 2 ships are going to be the best. But I also don't want to give myself too much. So I'm thinking Harbinger and Medusa. They're both smaller ships. Seems a little more balanced and fair. But part of me also wants to just go crazy. Welcome back from Bulgaria. I mean, welcome back from Florida. You're in Bulgaria. I'm in Florida. I don't want to make it too slow, though, because I'm going to be starting at level 8. So part of me just wants to grab the Aurora and the Harbinger. Or maybe the Medusa and the Shrike to be a little less powerful. Fury Eagle. If I was going to get a another cruiser, it would be the Falcon, and I would want a Pirate Falcon. Doing a Fury wouldn't be a bad idea, though. Maybe Fury Griffin. I do like flying the Griffin. Huh. I'm also worried about logistics to a degree. We do have bulk transport. I guess what we'll do is we'll get bulk transport and combat and containment procedures. That way we can guarantee our fuel is at least a little more secure. Yeah, if I want to do a Falcon, I want to do a Pirate Falcon. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to do... We'll do the Harbinger and the Fury. No. We'll do the Harbinger. See, I want a ship that can actually, like, that's durable enough, but not overwhelming. Well, if you'll notice, we can't even choose legions. Maybe we just go Hammer and Sunder. The thing is that I need a ship that's more active. So that something to focus on my flying. Alright. You know what? I'm thinking about it. I kind of want to just be on the small scale to start. So let's go Scarab and Omen. I like flying the Omen. The Scarab... You know what? Heck it. Omen and Harbinger, or Hype Boy. Oh, but the thing is that the logistics of the Hyperion are just going to be too much to manage. So, Omen Shrike. Alright, Omen Medusa, and we have experimental hull modifications on. So I'll make the Medusa have the temporal shell. That's what we'll do. We're going to start at level 8. We have no officers, but we are going to give ourselves plenty of credits. And then we click custom start. Begin without an existing story to your name and shape your... I like that this page comes up next. Heavy debt. With a lingering and heavy debt to be paid, you start. You know what? We're going to go with the heavy debt. After all, the story here is that we got... Alright, you know what? They just went on a break. Perfect timing. Let me confirm this actually starts up. Let me just make sure the mods don't break, and I'm going to go grab another quick cigarette, and then we'll do the proper introduction to the story and everything. Because that's the main thing I want to start doing more, is the storytelling. I want to return to that. Alright, so let's just make sure. Okay, it didn't explode. Failed to retrieve mod update info. Check Starsector lock details. No big deal. It didn't explode. And that says 300. All right, so I'm gonna go grab a quick cigarette. It'll be like 5 minutes. So, Menace 1. I did have the video. Let's go to my YouTube real fast. Should be in the library. Where's my history? Oh, so base. He watches other streamers and content creators, the nerd. So, Menace 1. This is back when I was using my wide monitor. So, this is the fight we got in. As the Syndrians came to bring back cargo and fuel, or food, organics and food, actually, to Chico Mazdak. And if they got through, that was going to be a lot of stability they would regain. And I did not need that. So I went to engage them without even thinking about it, and then hit the button to get into the fight before I really looked at the fleet. So we have a Dominator, a Fury, an Eagle, 2 Falcons, and then some fodder. And that's the fight we get into. And we actually fly pretty well because the Aurora is so fast and we're so built at this moment that we're able to really easily kite around these ships, pick off their smaller ones, shrug off the fire of their Falcons, which are the only things that can keep up with us on their larger ships. The Fury and the Eagle do a little bit, but we can easily get away from them. We actually flux out there, but our armor kept us alive. We stay alive for a lot longer. But we're flying around, doing our best to try and kite them around and wear them down over time with precision strikes. And we do a pretty decent job. But the problem is what I forgot about was the crab. And I spent too much time in one place. The crab took center position on the map and was then able to just chase me down. And I was not at all prepared for him. This is a revisit.
What is that?
Yeah. Completely caught me off guard. And that was the end of Menace 1. Phase Lance's finish the fight.
Giant enemy crab! Giant enemy crab out of nowhere!
If it hadn't been for that crab, I potentially could have finished that fight, but that misplay got us in the end. And like I said, I did try to continue and come back, but as far as I'm concerned, canonically, this was the end of that playthrough. And I will be chopping this up to have just that fight up on YouTube if you want to watch the full fight. It was not a great fight, to be honest, but I do want to highlight it. I'll probably, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the entire siege, which is the majority of this video, is the siege of Mazdak. It was months that we were in there harassing them. I may even need to download a different VOD to get the full video, but that will be up sometime this week for sure. Probably work on that sometime tomorrow. All right, all our mods loaded. March 9th, Menace 1 is defeated in combat by Syndrian forces. Her month-long single ship, so that was the single ship play, month-long single ship blockade of Chico Mazdak was finally broken. Her body was never recovered. Redacted. And the idea here is her body was recovered secretly, and now we have the legend. Not the legend. I changed this thumbnail like 5 times. Where's the new one? Oh, we're in the wrong page. We need to go to nails. And here we are. The return. Actually, let me leave that one up too. What we'll do is we'll do it like this. Like this. So now we have the return of Menace 1. As well as our lovely other picture. Omega X Deus. Deus X Omega. Omega 2S. And if you don't know what that means, it's Latin. What it means is Omega from God, God from Omega. You are Omega. And that's playing on the fact that there's lots of people that suspect the player character is actually an Omega Core AI. And that's why the player character is so exceptional and able to do all the things they do. And I quite like that. And that's what we're playing into with Menace 1. So everything loaded up all right. We picked our skills during the Twitch break. I went straight into containment procedures because we really need to be able to manage our fuel since we're going to have 0 logistics ships. We are only keeping 2 ships with crew, the 2 ships that we have NEURALINKed. The rest of them will be drone ships. There are some ways we can supplement this, and as we start getting more drone ships, the drone ships do carry cargo and fuel, so they will kind of help, especially when we make them everything efficient. We turned off progressive S mods because since we can get up to level 40, we can get a hold of Best of the Best, which will allow us to build in another hull mod, so we'll be able to have 3 hull mods, and that's more than enough. We can get over-engineering, we can get stabilized shields, and then we'll probably either take automated repair on our ships and then efficiency on the drone ships. And we did do the adjusted skill points threshold, so we can have up to 300 DP of drone ships. That's with the officer multipliers as well. Although we're probably not going to put a lot of AI cores in most of our drone ships, because I would rather save that for the larger ships that we're going to be having. And so most of the small drone ships are not going to have AI cores. And we're going to use support doctrine to get them to a point where they have extra skills. And it'll also make them cheaper, which will make the cost for the automated ships cheaper as well. In combination, these two together are really great if you want to have a nice large drone ship fleet. And at some point, we'll get to some combat skills. We'll probably end up taking target analysis and field modulation sooner than later, just to buff our 2 ships that we have. And we'll get into the leadership stuff a little bit. We're not really going to need Wolfpack tactics because we're not going to be flying any officers in frigates or destroyers. So this is going to be weird for me, because normally I take that. But we're going to try and get into some cruisers sooner than later. Maybe even a battle cruiser, because I really like the idea of using the Invictus for one of my ships and just retrofitting it to have a lot of energy weapons instead of ballistic weapons. I think that would be a nice, fun, cursed ship to have. And it's fast. As for the second ship, I'm not certain what we're going to take yet. We may end up taking the something from the Alpha site and integrating that into our fleet. But for now, this is how we're starting. We're over Sphinx. This will be fine for us to at least... oh, we already lost 2 crew because of our debt. What is our debt? Oh. So that's going to pile up. So we've already got 2 months worth piled up. Ah! Just exit. New game. I left the help pop-ups on. What's funny is Fool even told me, and I didn't pay attention. I am a fool. It's fine. We can blurm through this real quick. The thing I changed was, and it keeps all the stuff I changed. So that stays the same. Restart. Custom. Medusa. Omen. Level 8. Credits. So we have some credits, but it's going to quickly deplete over time. I love the new layout here. This is such a better setup. More flexible. We're going to get increased salvage. Field repairs is going to be useful eventually, but being able to salvage a little bit of extra fuel and supplies when we kill ships is going to be very important. And I exited out because I'm a genius. And I pushed the button. I thought I was in the game already. No help pop-ups. I wish this would stay the same. Skip. Proceed. Restart. Custom. Medusa. Omen. Level. Credits. Custom. Debt. Done. Start. No more problems. Off we go. Safe sailings. Safe sailings. What does that even mean? Alright. March 1st. So, in order for it to be March 1st, canonically, Menace 1 would have had to been incapacitated for almost a full year at the least. I didn't mention the year because we are restarting, so we would have gone back in time, and I didn't want to include that kind of shenanigans. We're not near a patrol though, are we? Lost 10 crew, no big deal. We have the Janus device. Create that. Buy fuel. We need to buy fuel everywhere we go. Crew. Let's just max out our crew. It's not a bad setup. Alright, well. Hardened shields and resistant flux conduits already. We have story points, don't we? We do. So first thing we do, build in over engineered. And that's going to give us 20% extra OP, and it's going to give us 2 slot points to work with, which we are definitely going to utilize on the front mounts. I turned the skill on, right? I did not. We're going to turn these into medium slots. Converter diverter to build them in. Nice. Boom tubes. I want these ion beams here. Auto assign, and I want the heavy blasters to be alternating. I want the boom tubes to fire at the same time. We don't have a spot for another thing back there. It's fine. I'm going to try and contrast as often as possible when it comes to shields and stuff. Or we just go green. You know what? No. We're going to go green. Green is one of my favorite colors, but if not my favorite color. So we'll go green. And then we want the temporal shell. And then we want to get safety overrides. That's how we're going to play. We'll eventually get some exotic technology, but right now we don't have any, and oh boy, it is perfect. Very nice. Are they both perfect? No, but they're pretty good. Alright, so that's this. And I didn't put the NEURALINK in. Automated shifts and solid neural interface instead. Neural interface. I want the ion cannons. I really do. So we'll try and fly like this. Actually, we can't build this in, can we? Yeah, we can. Besides, we want to build in stabilize shields and automated repairs if we get to that point. We could build in hardened shields to get a little extra points right up front, because we're not keeping this forever. Oh, we don't need the resistant flux conduits. That's one thing to remember. Right. There we go. We don't need resistant flux conduits. Okay. Alright, so that one's set. I'll put an ion cannon on it just to get... No, you know what? We'll just put this... Ooh. What do you have for mediums? Boom tube. You could put universal mounts and get machine guns. I think that's what we're going to do. Yeah. Let's do that. Alright, first things first. Strip this thing down. Butt naked. Oh, on the spot. Then we're going to over-engineer it. Do a mass universal retrofit so that we have all universal mounts. Because I'm going to put on these light dual machine guns because they're so heckin' cheap. Although, honestly, the railguns would be just... We might be able to just fit the railguns. Let's build with the railguns and see if we can fit them. Safety overrides, unstable injector. Oh, if we're losing the range anyway. The light dual autocannons are a little more like flux stable. We'll just do light dual autocannons instead of light dual machine guns. I don't want to get that close if I don't have to. But we're already... Try the autocannons. And I don't need the swarm rack. We do have a free upgrade slot, so let's put this into a medium converter. Bolt that in. And we will put harpoons on it for now, but we'll eventually put something else on there as well. And we don't... we want to get green. Hardened subsystems. Bubble up. We should be fine with this. Our vents are still cracked. They're insane. Yeah. We'll switch out something else. Maybe, I'm not sure. We'll find something else at some point. Maybe breachers to help breach armor. We could even get rid of all of our mounts and just put a swarm rack on there. But I think this is the way we want to do it. The NEURALINK. Neural interface. What is our peak performance? It's only 60 minutes or 60 seconds. It's not that much less than this, but I do want to get it to be the same. So let's drop... I think there's what would be the most efficient way to do this. Because we could drop these and have... I just don't know what I actually want to put on here. Because if we just leave it as the swarm rack, then we have more space to actually put the NEURALINK and the hardened subsystems, and we can still have some capacitors. I think that's what we're going to do. Let's fly like this. Now I have to get used to flying both ships again. Forget how to switch. T for transfer. Yeah, I think we're good. I think we want to approach in the Omen and then switch to the Medusa. Alright. We definitely don't want to hold on to any of this. We will need some machines for the rare bit of salvaging we're going to do. We don't need any weapons. We can bring some drugs to the Lost Astropolis. We don't have a lot of space anyway. No, we can get rid of the machines. Fill up on drugs. Supplies per day aren't that bad, but I'm nervous to get rid of any. Entertain the gaudy person. I forget what gaudy people. Oh, they want to buy a ship, right? We're not getting any officers, so I don't need to check that. Let's go. Very first thing I want to do is actually we're going to clear this for now. We do want to eventually get the point where we can build a station, but we're going to need abandoned station. If we get an abandoned station, if we take the siphon station, then we can do it cheaper. Yeah, I'm thinking we get one of the abandoned stations. So this is something we want to do sooner than later so we can have our own independent place to visit. Alright. Good targets for this. The abandoned Astropolis outside of Marioth. It's a great one. It's relatively centered. I don't know that we can do the abandoned space dock here. Mari Kondon. That would be another one that's potential. There's the one in Corvus, but that brings us close to the hegemony, which I don't want to be. There's the abandoned siphon station in Ema, but these people harass you if you don't have your transponder on. I'd rather not have to deal with that. Whereas in Mayasura, they don't bother you. We could go to Al Ghurber, abandoned skyhook anchor, though. I don't think that is something we can colonize. Nova does not have one, although we could make one. I also don't want to colonize somewhere where someone is going to potentially have a problem with us either. Which is another reason why I'm thinking of the, well, anywhere we go, they're probably going to have that problem. But there is an abandoned, like, that's the problem, though, is that if we don't become friendly with someone first. So it'll probably be the Kamari Kondom, and we may end up becoming friendly with the Letic Path, even though we're going to eventually destroy them. Or we could end up destroying Chalcedony first to get their claim out of the system. I forget exactly how that works. Tiamat. It's not one of the core worlds, though. Yeah, we don't have any data on Tiamat right now. Don't know where it's at. I do want to build a station sooner than later, but I'm also not necessarily super into the idea of, you know, losing or becoming a faction anytime soon either. But at some point we will. Yeah. Zigbot. Um, oh, you're talking about Tia over here? It's not unclaimed anymore. Tia and Taxit are claimed by the hegemony, as is Duzak. You can't colonize there anymore for free. And Penelope is claimed by the church. So you can't colonize for free there either. But we could go to Netter. Well, we're not doing it right now. We'll figure out what we'll do with that later. Right now, we're bringing drugs to Velocistropoulos and Myasura. But first, we're actually going to go here. Oh, I forgot to scan those gates. Anyway, this is Prism Freeport. Cool. Get efficiency. That'll help out. We start adding more ships to the fleet. Wish I saw it was free. Always want to get into the habit of buying gas whenever I see it. Get more drugs for the pirates. Oh, I forgot. I actually need to scan the gates because I didn't take the mod that does it for me. Yep. So we'll just need to remember to do that every time. Stabilized shields, fantastic. Actually going to build that in right away. I think we wait until we've got our drone ships. That's when we're really going to need a base of operations. Alright. Don't have any surplus, that's fine. There's that heavy machine gun I was thinking about. That was for a different game. Thinking if I want to upgrade in any kind of way. Just putting a heavy machine gun up on the front here would actually be really good for the versatility of the ship. Let's go see if we can get a better medium rack. I'm looking to the privateering arrangements. Recently, a brief queue and take a seat for operations against the hegemony, Nachiketa. So if we go to Nachiketa and start destroying shit, we can get some money. Let's get involved. Alright, but real quick, we're going to go over to Port St. Francis and see if we can get a better medium missile for our ship. There's some miners over there. The other thing Nexrelin adds is they add mining fleets to the game. It's quite nice. Puts a little more activity out in space. Breachers, that's what I was looking for. Alright, we'll get them later. I'm thinking about it because there's a reason why I didn't get them. It's because of the DP all around. I just need to wait a little bit. Sell that off. Buy gas. Also, Astropolis still needs drugs. We could run the contest in, but we don't have enough cargo really to do anything about that. What we need to do is we need to go fight so we can get more levels up. Or we just need to go out and actually acquire some drone ships right away, is what we really should have done. We have the skill. I should have gone and gotten some. Might be a bit much. We get harried, but then we escape. Our real target's this guy. So that's important with the NEURALINK for me because I want to be able to switch, keep them close to each other, so we can switch between them easier. Alright. Be careful with that phase lance. Oh, this guy's annoying. Oh! Why'd you... Yeah, the burst lasers can be easy to... He had high energy focus as well, which definitely didn't help. Alright. Yeah, let's let the second in command take over. Got them all! Wow! Great job, second in command. I really want that, but it goes against the play. Normally, I would absolutely take this. It would solve a lot of our problems. But the idea is that we only have 2 crewed ships. That is the silly challenge. Oh, we're doing the 2-ship challenge. All my other ships are automated. That's the idea. I don't know if these actually continue to take up space. So I just want those ones. That's the exotic technology. And we'll take all of your supplies. We don't want any of your stuff. Yeah, no, it's... I am shocked that that stupid frickin' omen just eviscerated itself. Alright, we're gonna go over to Ema. Why are they... Oh, they saw which way I was heading is the thing. So they couldn't find me where they thought I was. They just kept going. Alright. Don't have the credits. So this is one of the reasons why we need more ships, is so we can start stockpiling this stuff. So unfortunately, we don't have the credits. We don't have better upgrade ships. Oh, we didn't fully repair yet. Let's just go ahead and do that before we bother messing with anything else. Academic. Nope. Scoot our way out. Recover some health. Break. Well, they don't even have a sensor buoy here. These guys are all pretty beefy. I don't know that we're actually going to be able to do any bounty hunting here. Or any privateering. At least not in system. Let's just see if we can intercept any hegemony trade outside. They have that detachment patrolling around. Let's just see if we can find a light beacon. Because we have enough that we can get out to here and back easily. And we'll probably find some gas while we're out there too. We need to get some boys. Be careful with that. We have a smaller fleet. It's only 2 ships to take damage. Low beacon. That's exactly what we wanted to see. We'll do a full... We can't really survey anything, but we can rip apart any habitats and stuff we find. Like this, we can't really do anything with this. I should have gotten the ones mod, that the fleet log. That's what I need to remember to add in. Alright, how many are here? 1, 1, and 2. Alright, let's take... I think they won't join each other because they're all dormant. Oh my god, could you... Hey! There we go. Should be an easy fight. Yep. Smash. We didn't get him though. I'll bring some of the machines that'll help us get the salvage. Oh, glimmer. Yes. Perfect. Got a glimmer. Let's go for the next one. Glimmers are what we're looking for. They are such a good, versatile little frigate. You gotta be careful though, because after a couple of fights, we may end up running low on supplies, because we only brought supplies for 2 ships. My job is to distract this guy. go in, please? Glimmer. I'll spend a story point to get a glimmer. This is fine. Probably need that ion cannon. Take the salamander as well. So we have 2 ships to outfit. I'm going to do this right now while we have the chance. That's fine. That's fine. Here, let's give you the 2 ion cannons. We'll just give you straight up the 2 ion cannons. I'll put this on you. Stabilize shields, front shields, reinforce bulkheads on both of them. We have advanced optics by chance. Let's go ahead and throw that in. The vents, the capacitors. We don't have hardened shields yet, right? No. Okay. There's the 2 ion cannons. Give me the auxiliary thrust. Yeah. Auxiliary thrusters. I was going to say you need more vents, but you already had some there. Alright, that'll do for now until we get more weapons to put on them. Just be able to bring them into combat. Alright, what's our fleet? How are we doing? We have the capabilities. We could get into more fights. We need the supplies. Alright, so we're going to eat 60 of our supplies to get fully repaired. That'll bring us to 40. I can see the bit rate starting to get choppy. There's another glimmer here. I want to take the fight. I shouldn't need to deploy them. I'm just going to deploy myself so that we save our supplies. Or deploy myself, but deploy my Omen. It's an antimatter blaster. I would love to get a hold of that, please. Ulcer went down. Nope, not worth it. We'll take that pulsar, though. I just really wanted to get him into a better combat ready state. Plus, we seem to be doing okay on supplies. Like, we're only going to chew up 48 of them, so we're actually ahead of where we were. So we get this gate, so we can just jump back to the core worlds. Jump back to Prism specifically, which is nice. Yeah, this is the kind of stuff we're looking for. Little tiny salvage targets. Usually hate those and ignore them. Cute little world, though, hey? Look at this thing. We can just get 20 machines. We can survey it. Hey, guy, do you happen to have 20 machines on you I could borrow? Alright, we want to try and pick off smaller ships first, especially smaller ships with big dumb guns and no shields. Get this, Shepherd. You guys ever seen a broadside omen before? I'm thinking we get the, we put the heavy machine guns on here. The range is not really a big deal. I just wanted to borrow some machines. Jeesh. We don't want that trash. 6. Alright, we're on our way. We want more of those. We will need some of these. We have more room too. Crew. We don't want crew. Crew are just... Well, I guess we can take some crew. Alright. We don't need assault wings yet. I think that's all we need. What's this again? Oh, velocity injectors. Fighters. No. It's the methed out fighters. We don't need methed out fighters. We don't even have fighters. Alright, we need 10 more machines. No complaints. We're in a much better position, too. Let's go ahead and see if we can get this glimmer. I'll go in low. No sense wasting supplies. Don't want to get anywhere near that phase lance until I have to. Spend a story point on that. Overshield. Flux induction drive. These are rare drops. We definitely want those. Get the harpoons. It occurred to me I left a pulse laser out there somewhere. I'll have to go find that. Maybe it was in the cargo pods here. No, it was back at the other fight. Let's go ahead and get this guy set up real quick, though. So I'll keep the unstable injector, though. Got 2 pulse lasers on you? That's handy. Maybe some harpoons or torpedoes as well. And so got space. And we're gonna find more weapons for him. We'll just bolt those in when we get them. It's over here. We fought that one guy. He's had a pulse laser. I didn't think about it when I saw it. Yeah, 2 pulse lasers. We'll actually grab that too. Go like this for him. And then drop capacitors to add the flux distributor. And then we'll put the extra missile on this guy because he can move his tactical laser to here. He gets the points for it. Build in the stabilized shield, take off the bulkheads, add the tactical laser, and we'll actually give that. Ugh. Need hardened subsystems? Maybe a little. Not really. We'll give them a stable injector. Yeah. Get them all you fast. Alright. Yeah, the yellow ones are cute. The Atropos, they're more useful on fighters than they are on actual ships. The daggers and the tridents that use them, they're really good because the range is so long that essentially the bombers can come out of the wing, fire, and then return right back into the wing to reload. But on your own ships, hammers are just, if you can aim them and hit, they're so good. Alright. Let's roll with what we got, and we can survey this now. Oh, we can construct an outpost now. Maybe we should. Just take the damn core. Alright, well first, let's do the survey. Got some good survey data to sell. Can we explore the ruins? Not yet. We would need a lot more crew and machines. What about constructing an outpost? What does that require? Automatically stock supplies and fuel for you to take and be used as storage. Monthly upkeep is 2,500. We do need a gamma core. Okay, I've done this before. I think it used to be part of these stations. Like you would do a station outpost, but now it's something you can do here. Unfortunately, we would need to be able to bring enough stuff. So this is not something we're going to do until we have extra ships. And we are at the maximum of our crew. So we are going to need to upgrade our ships to larger ships. I couldn't remember if the automated ships could have crew or not. I was pretty sure they couldn't. Maybe we could put additional berthing in them. I'm pretty sure we can put additional berthing in them. But we don't really need the extra crew right now. But I'm thinking this is a good spot for us to be because of the gate, specifically. Oh, nice. Now, the cool thing about these is if there is a rare item to find, you will find it. I got so excited with the noise, but that's the same noise that the exotic technology and the volatiles. No, the volatiles don't make that noise, but the exotic technology makes that noise. Yeah, we just won't have the crew, so there's no point in us starting to stockpile up enough to do that. Hey, we did get a plasma flux catalyst, though. As soon as we can incorporate that, we're going to want to. It is huge buff to our energy. Actually, I'm thinking about it. We're going to save it for when we get a larger ship. Because these are our starter ships after all. Should be able to take these fine with just the moment. I should start bringing in the glimmers with me, though. At least like 1 or 2 of them to make the fights go faster. I was thinking, don't go in with your system on. And that turned it. Oh, Jesus! I keep forgetting my shield is off. So I had the wrong thing selected. Like on both. Not interested in that fight. Alright. This is a good start. Let's head back through the gate. That's just all the stuff I've already discovered. Go visit Prism. Fuel is no longer a concern. Frigates are going to be able to carry extra fuel for us. Cargo as well. I need to decide how I want to outfit these guys. Alright, let's look at what we've got. We have 5 ships. We have an ion pulsar. We can get 5 more. We have 4 blasters. We can get... that's perfect. The math is adding up. Great. Now, we don't have a lot of missile launchers we can get a hold of. We can get hammers, actually. Harpoons, sabots. Maybe. There's 2 harpoon racks. I'm going to do the... ooh, you know what else we could do? There's only 3 long PD lasers, though. There's 5 hammers, though. So let's do hammers and sabots. So we can get the double hammers, and we can get the single sabots. And what we're going to do is ion pulsar, pulse lasers, sabot, hammers, all the vents, efficiency, shield conversion front. don't have automated repair yet. Could do cargo and do some cargo runs, but I don't want to do trading. Where the whole point of this is to have fun, and trading is not always fun. Trying to think of one more. Maybe we do the unstable injector, gives them the mobility, the extra speed boosty. I mean, they're already pretty heckin' fast. Oh no, they're actually not as fast as I think they are. Yep, they're capacitors, and everyone's going to be getting basically the same exotics. I have some advanced coils. So the advanced coils are better than the regular coils. The advanced coils lower your hull durability, but the regular coils increase weapon flux cost, whereas the advanced coils lower it. I don't have enough advanced coils for everyone, though, but I do have shields, so let's just focus on getting the shields installed. Get out. You. Why are these? Oh, you've already got stuff? Very nice. Okay. We're going to focus again still on the shields. You can actually fit the 9. Do I have an advanced flux coil that you can fit? No, they're all too expensive. It's fine. For now. So we'll cover all this. So I'm going to put the largest shield that I have in you. It's only a 3. It's fine. Put the coil back in. I'm going to want to invest in these guys enough. Nope, not credit. I meant to use a chip. We're going to invest in these guys over time. And get both of these up to 10. Right now, we just want to get them buffed. Okay. This is forever going to be in here now. I guess we could put those in here. Oh no, with this setup I can't. What about you? Did you get one? Yeah, you're already... Oh, you have perfect though. Oh, that is the max one I have. No, I have 2 right here. They're level 7 that won't go in the box. They're level 8. They won't go in the box. It's the only thing about exotic technology. Sometimes they get cursed. Fire fuel. We do need some supplies now. We'll max out on our crew because we can only get so much. And I think I want to leave these guys based just on default, but I might end up picking up a couple of other ships, like the smaller ones, to put systems onto. Oh, I forgot about this. Sell that. Oh, no, we're not paying that much for all levels. independent air quotes smuggler. Look for something to tip over. Something dense in credits. It's not an independent. Organs, organics. Okay, I was gonna say organs. We actually can take a larger ship, or a larger fleet, with the setup we have right now. We just need to find that fleet. That's our boy. They have no cargo. Let's do the auto fight. I might as well just take all this stuff now, right? And we don't need the breachers or the crew. Suck back nerds. Like how all those little pirates kept looking at my fleet. They're like, wait, no, wait, no, 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 wait, no. Fight. We probably would be able to win it, but I'm worried about how the fleet would behave during it. No, not recovery. Just eat it. Luxury goods. Too big. We're not making any money this way. Way too big. Maybe not, but that Aurora could be really tough to crack. That's my main concern. Harbinger could shut us down and blast us too. There's a lot going on there. Scothy, food, domestic good, luxury goods, but it's a small fleet. And they just got blasted all the way over here. Just catch them on the rebound. Hi. I guess we don't have to fight it. Let's not. Oh, they all got away. Great. Okay. No, not recovery. Just give me. Take the weapons. How do you keep surviving? I didn't take that. That's really that many. Alright, let's go to Scothy. Make the delivery. I don't really want to think about upgrading them right now. I think what I'm going to do is just store these weapons. And move out. Don't even need to look. Yeah, we don't need any supplies, really. Actually, I kind of want to go back out, so let's grab, yeah, we might be out for longer, but we don't need that many supplies. Oh, we don't have enough. Alright. Let's go store our trash. I'm going to check with the berthing, see if we can store extra crew. I think we can. I'm pretty sure we can. Let's check right quick. Instead of maybe the unstable injector, because we don't really need the speed terribly much. We're not going to get into any large fights while we're out. Additional berthing. No, does not. Which is weird, because it says it increases the maximum crew capacity, but then it just does not. I mean, it makes sense, but it's like, if you're installing the additional berthing, it should be able to work. But, oh well. That's fine, we'll just wait until we have larger ships. No big deal. I think we're gonna go find a larger ship instead of trying to make one. Hey, shady person. I know what you do, but I really can't afford you. So this is one of the Nexrelin things, the operatives, that allows you to have a little more control in manipulating affairs. But since we don't really have a lot of money, we're not really going to be able to make that much use of them. How you doing, Laser Guano? You just caught me at the very start of a new playthrough, which is currently titled wrong, because we're not doing the Arma, we're doing an extension of a playthrough I did before. I did a single ship challenge like a year ago. Yeah, so it's up to date, but we're using Nexrelin instead of vanilla. And it's a continuation of a challenge I did before, where I did the single ship challenge, only now we're doing the 2-ship challenge, but with automated ships to back us up. So these are the only two, we're only going to have the 2 crewed ships that we're NEURALINKed between as our ships. And then we're still playing with exotic technology and experimental hull mods, but I encountered what I'm thinking was a conflict between experimental hull mods and progressive S mods. So I took progressive S mods off, and I figure since I'm using whole new level to go up to level 40 anyway, we'll eventually get best of the best and be able to install a third hull mod. So it's like, that's fine. And this way I don't have to wait until I get experience. I can just install stabilized shields right away and not have to worry about the bulkheads. We can also do over-engineered as well. That's another story. Alright, so we came here. You cannot install extra berthing on these guys, which doesn't necessarily surprise me. It would be a bit silly, but at the same time, it's like, why can't I? Why can't I just put the berthing in? Really tempted to try and get claw fighters into some stuff. Oh, we can't do that. We can only use automated ships on the automated. But I could get the claw fighters in. Get them in this guy. Could build the converted hangar once we get the best of the best. That's way later. Nobody's thinking about it now. Because I want over-engineered. Over-engineered gives you 20% OP and gives you some slot points for modifying the slots in the exotic or the experimental hull modifications. That's why we have a torpedo tube and a heavy machine gun on our otherwise small mounts. We turn them into medium mounts. And yeah, this build is actually pretty ridiculous. But we're mostly flying the Omen while we let the Medusa fly itself. But we can switch back and forth. And since they're smaller ships, we can do it instantaneously. I don't think we need to worry about leaving anything else. We just go and find more little boys, more little drone boys to join our fleet. Oh, you know what I do want to do though? Actually, we can do this in orbit because it doesn't take any ordnance points. I want to make these guys green as well. Since the retrofit we're doing literally costs 0 points, it doesn't cost anything to do it in space. There we go. Yeah, now we're green. Love it. Oof. Perfect. That's what we want. Low beacon. So we'll swoop all the way around and come back out over here. Oh, free money. Free money. Come here. Come here. Come here. Where am I at? There I am. Gotcha. Go in full beams. You guys got this. Oh, hold on. I'm going to tie these two together so that they stick near me. Oh, we did put dual... Thanks, buddy. Dual light machine guns on our small mounts here. I need to remember to switch those out for not machine guns. We have the dual light autocannons, and I wanted light machine guns. Oh, look at that. We just stomped them. Because the light machine guns aren't really... or the light autocannons aren't really performing that well. I think we'd be better off without them.